Hi there. If you're watching this, it's because you're a Parker admin and you've been asked to create new cards and switch those cards with your vendors. And I'm here just to give you a quick overview of how to most easily do that. But first, quickly, I just want to share why we're making this request. And it's because soon Parker is going to be offering physical versions of our cards as well as digital wallets to go with cards and as well increased fraud protection. And in order to offer this new functionality, we do need you guys to create new versions of cards that will be supportive of the new functionality. So the first thing to say is that only Parker admins can create new cards, and that's because admins are the only user type that has access to create new cards. And so even if an employee is a card holder, the admin will need to replace the card and issue a new card to them in order to complete the action. And so if you're a Parker admin and you log into Parker, this is what you should see. So you can see here there's a banner here that's informing of the deadline that we have to switch cards. If I open up Learn More, you can learn a little bit more about why we're switching, which I've already kind of shared with you guys. And then if you look at your cards page, you will see two kind of representations of your cards. If you're here for the first time and you only have old cards, all your cards will have this replace button and this vendor button next to each other. After you've replaced them, you'll see the cards represented with a check mark here. And so the object is to get all of the cards in your workspace to have this green check mark and have no cards with this replace button and this vendors button next to them. So as the admin, I'm going to go through here and I'm going to start replacing cards. And the first thing I'll see here is just a bit of an explainer. This card ending in 9855. It's been used with these vendors, so Overstock.com and Lyft, which means I need to create a new card. And then if I have this old card's information saved with Overstock.com and Lyft, I need to go into those platforms and swap out the old card's information with the new cards. And so this is kind of just a vendor list for me to work through. So I can kind of take note of that. And then what I'll do is just click create replacement card. And what has happened now is all of the information of the old card has been copied over. And so you can see the card holder is the same. It's Lillian. The card name is also the same. And then the credit terms are the same as well. If I had a spending limit on this card, that would be represented here. I did not. So there is no spending limit. So everything's kind of been copied over. So it's nice and easy for me to create a new card with all the same settings. From here, I'll just click replace card. And now that card's been created. And at this point, both the old card and the new card are in the workspace. And so now after I go and switch all the cards, the new card's information with the vendors, I'll then go and delete the old card. And this screen here is just kind of showing all of the new card information. So I can see here the card ends in these numbers. I can see the address here, the name on the card. So I have all the information here now in front of me to go and switch with the vendors. And as well, you can also see here the vendors are again listed. One thing to mention is that the vendors are listed in order of most transaction volume to least. And so just starting at the top is going to make sure you've kind of replaced your heaviest exposed vendors to the old card with the new card information. So I'll go to these platforms, I'll replace the new card, and then I'll simply click I'm done, cancel card ending in 9855, which is the old card. So the final step is to cancel the old card, which of course I'll only do after I've switched out all the card information with the new information. I'll click, yep, I'm done, cancel card ending in 9855. And one of these replace card buttons is gone. So I have 4 left. And so I'll just keep doing that with all of my cards. until I've replaced all of them. Anyways, the last thing to mention is that if you are to go through the flow and you get to that final step where you're viewing the new card's information and you're switching the vendors, and for whatever reason, if you get interrupted and you need to return to replacing the vendors later, you can kind of just close out of that view without canceling the old card. And the old card will remain in this list as shown here. And when I'm ready to continue switching out the vendors, I can go to that old card and open up this vendors view where, again, I can kind of just see the vendors and complete that switching. And then when I'm done, I'll just click I'm done, cancel card, ending in whatever. And, that card will then be completed. So you can kind of do it all in a single flow, or you can do it asynchronously and return to this vendors view later when you're ready to complete the vendor switching. And so that's it. Thank you so much for doing this card switching and taking the time to watch this video. And thanks again for putting up with some of the other changes. We really, really appreciate it. And thank you so much. And we promise that soon all of these changes are going to come back to make for a much better Parker experience. So thanks again.